This is the second video in our spring offense. If you haven't seen the first video, go ahead and watch it back there. Otherwise, we're going to define some of our movements. The first movement that some teams like to call is Fury, where we have the handler clearing out space for a wing or a cutter to fill in. We'll call that Fury. The most advantageous time to use a Fury is to continue our flow this way. So in this scenario, let's say the disc starts right here, and then we have just a normal cut out here to space. We get a throw over here. As this throw is in the air, this is the best time for this person to clear out of space and then allow this wing to attack the space. Going forward, we're going to be talking about how we can use this Fury cut in 3 different scenarios. We can talk about it when we're on the trap side, as I just displayed. We're also going to talk about Fury when we're doing wheels or booty cuts. And then lastly, we're going to be talking about Fury on the flat side. All 3 scenarios, you just need to remember one thing. When the disc reaches the middle of the field, as a third handler, you should be either upfield, out of the way, or even towards the middle, leaving that space for someone else. So here we're going to be talking about these next 4 clips on the trap side. To paint the picture, we have a flat mark. We are attacking this from right to left, and we're going to be able to get a centering throw to the middle of the field. All right. At this point, it's a really good spot to Fury, as we can have Nathan clear out, and then Trevor is able to attack this way. Instead, we can't step out to throw this throw over here, and Trevor has to pull his cut off because of a handle clogging the space. Here we have another clip where we have Will getting a free pass here, and Logan does a great job at seeing there's not a mark and centering to the middle of the field. From here, we can see that James, the downfield cutter, has a lot of space to attack right here. But then we also have Will going forward here, and we could hit Will, but we would rather hit James over here. And then here's an example where we do the Fury correctly. The reason why is because we already do not have a handler in this space. We have a handler here, and so we inadvertently run Fury correctly, and we can see how powerful it is for the wing to go down this way. Now we gain the disc here, whereas opposed to we might have gotten the disc here on our normal fall offense. And then this is how Ring of Fire does it. We'll see there the force is here, so it's a force for a flick, a trap force. So they're going to swing it over here. And you'll see, I want us to watch this third handle, how he's already kind of out of the space where they want to attack over here where this observer is. But you can see him check his shoulder to be sure that he's not cutting off that space. And we're going to see how in their system it's built in that the wing is looking to attack this space. So this is kind of like a not that good of an example of a Fury. It's a failed attempt at a Fury. But then we'll get a nice creative throw to the middle of the field. And now I want us to watch this person who is technically in that third handle spot clear out, wait for this other person to fill in. And then that is the Fury motion. Clear to attack. So that's how we're going to run Fury on the trap side. With that concept of Fury and clearing out the space in regards to the momentum of the disk, we're going to talk about booty cuts now. Here we'll have a booty cut go this way, and the momentum of the disk is carrying the disk towards this side of the field, the far side. In this scenario, we then identify this square as kind of the space we want to attack, dictated by the momentum of the disk. And so we want to see Royce clear out earlier here. So here we go. We get the disk. Royce is kind of slow to clear, and we don't have a cutter come down. Once again, we get the disk. We want to see a cutter coming down on this way, so PJ can use this window to attack. Royce is indecisive on whether he should go for this cut or he should go here, and he's just leaving a defender here. Here we have another scenario. Andrew with the disk. PJ is going to be running a wheel. And then we're going to have our third handle, Jaden. We get the disk. And then we see how we throw to Jaden. And instead of throwing to Jaden, if Jaden had cleared, we could have maybe thrown to Trevor or even Keeley upfield. We'll see how DK is looking at Trevor, and Trevor sees the disc, so Trevor could make his move quickly without DK knowing, gets the first step, and we can get the disc for a gain of yards. Instead, our old fall offense is where we swing, and then from there we are unable to get the disc. PJ then strikes into a break space, which is hard to hit, maybe a scuba, maybe a step out backhand, but once again, we are making a inefficient cut. If PJ were to get the disc here, we just gain a little bit of yards, just similar to the Jaden cut. We gained a little bit of yards for what? Not that much. And then we have this sweeping cut from PJ, which allows him to get the disc back. But once again, in a more cutter-dominant system, what is the point besides gaining 5-10 yards for so much work? Then we eventually get the disc. Here's another example of a wheel where we go this way, and then we're going to see Trevor come over here, and then we're going to see Jaden auto strike up into the front. And then our person who was wronged the most is Sam, our wing. So the wheel goes. Can we imagine if Trevor were just to Fury, then Sam could gain a little bit more yards from here. We get the disc at the 30, when instead we could have gotten it at the 40. And then from there, Sam can do the post slash that he's been practicing so hard. But instead, we get the disc here. And even here, maybe Sam could go this way. But now we have a handle striking into a flat mark, tight quarters for not that much gain. Here's an example of Jake doing good spacing and allowing the throw to continue this way on a wheel. So we'll see here we get a wheel. And then in this scenario, in an updated spring offense, I would have liked Jake to clear, but instead he just spaces back here, which is fine for the demonstration purposes of how it clears up the space for Trevor to throw this backhand. Once again, as soon as we wheel, we want to know that this space right here, the wheel brought the disc's momentum to the center of the field, and then from there we want to attack. We want to attack, continue that momentum building. So this is the space we're going to attack. We can see how both Steven and Nathan could have chosen to attack this space immediately if we had known the system. And we get an example of how to utilize this space by a cut from PJ. And we can see how we are lacking the efficiency in our offense when PJ has to run all the way over here, convince him he's going there, and run all the way over here, or Nathan or Steven could just take a couple steps backwards. This is an example of Ring of Fire running the Fury on the wheel, and this is kind of what I'd like us to do. So we have the disc here. We're going to have this person run the wheel, and we're going to have this third handle clear out. This is going to be our wing who fills back in. So let's watch it once, full speed. And then here it is. We get the wheel. Third handle is clearing out. This guy is not going back there to get it again. He's holding his space. If this guy jumps, then he can also go here for free. And then we always know that it's going to be the wing. Once again, we're doing the rule where if the disc touches the midline of the field, it wants to keep its momentum going to this side. And we'll Fury to clear this space right here. And then a preview, we are straight into our post/offense. So we talked about the trap side and then the booty on how to Fury. And now we're going to talk about the flat side, which I think is probably the easiest to do and is pretty much what this offense was made for. In this example here, we'll have PJ with the disc, and we're going to do just a classic flat side reset where we give and go, and we end up with the disc here. And there are two players who I kind of want to give advice to on this new spring offense. So Royce is going to make a good cut, get the disc, and dish it back, which I really like. So now the disc is now in the middle, the middle of the field, so we can say like this is an appropriate time to run a Fury. If we did this offense correctly in the spring, we would have Logan be clearing before he even saw this pass go off, leaving PJ all of this space to throw. And then we could see Pierce maybe even attacking this space right here. Possibly this defender could guard it, but if so, then maybe Pierce can slash through. Instead, what happens is we have Pierce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's 20 yards away, 25 yards away and going. And PJ was throwing some bombs that night, but this is really tough to do. And it's just even getting worse. So this is hard. I like the hand. Maybe he could bait and then bring him back down. But then PJ's window is so tight because we have Logan here who held his space. And then Hugh, I believe it's Hugh who's going to recognize that this is the space we want to throw to, but it's already a moment too late, and then it's just a hard throw from a static position. You'll see how when we do this play, he's going to get it, and then we stagnate, and we're not able to flow. This one is a vestige of our past in a sense that traditional host stack offense is like the handle reset. This guy, handle 2, is going to do his moves and then get out. And then handle 3 is the real hero, and he's going to come in and save the day if handle 2 gets locked down. Classic, like, make your moves clear and then third come in. This new springtime offense instead empowers handle 2 and has handle 3 kind of clear out. That way, handle 2 can utilize this part of the field that handle 3 would initially be clogging, and they can even run routes like this to clear to the space, or they could even get discs here. So we're going to empower handle 2 and leave handle 3 kind of out of the picture. But we'll see here, we can get it. And now we're in the same scenario where we have handle 2, handle 3, and you can see how PJ's cutting potential is limited by how close Jake is to the disc, and our momentum can't really move either, can't move off of the sideline. We'll see here how we're forced to have a really short throw. If we didn't have a handle here, PJ could possibly run this way and Trevor could just throw it out. Or we could do a lot of different things. If PJ were to clear and Jake were up here, maybe he could crash down for an even larger gain of yards or a larger swing. So here's another example of when we're on the flat side, how it's really difficult once we get it here. We want to look this way and have a cut coming from down here. PJ can throw the throw super early and this person can run onto it. With Jake right here, it's going to be hard. He has to pretty much hit Jake right in the numbers before, otherwise this defender will get it if he floats it. So this just makes it really hard for us. And then eventually we have to make a tight throw. And once again, this throw is much tighter to Steven from here because of this window made by these handles. If these handles weren't here, then our window becomes from here to here in all of this space. But instead, our window is really tiny. Another example here, flat side. We're going to hit Logan, and then I believe we're just going to go and get the disc back. Boom, boom. And then we can predict now that we want Will to clear out. And then we can see either Abi, but Noah is doing a good job at taking away the under. So it would possibly be Aiden who has the step and can go attack this space. But let's see how this plays out on our offense instead. Will does a good job at spacing backwards, which is good. And Royce makes eye contact with Aiden. But because our offense isn't used to kind of this fury motion, we're going to see Aiden cut this way towards a covered area, and then he eventually figures out that he can attack this space. Not really as efficient as if when the instant Royce gets the disc, Will's already out of the way. Aiden has all of this space to attack. Okay, so let's see how ring resets on the flat side. We'll have the disc, we'll have our handle, and then I want us to pay attention to how they reset. And then we'll go and attack. So we will notice how not having a third handle allows this throw to be super easy. This first throw is okay, but if we had a third handle here, then this player wouldn't be able to attack all the way through. But since our third handle here is vying for space and holding space, technically he's already cleared out of the Fury, we are able to attack that space with motion. And you can even see how he wants to cut into the space, but he holds off his cut. Here's an even better example of a Fury where we're going to get it on the wing. And then here are our two handles. We see this guy come in to kind of do a sag. And then it's just really easy on what to do. We're going to throw to here. This third handle is going to clear Fury. And then from there, we want a cut from our downfield cutters to fill this space. There are a lot of different options here. We have option 1, 2, or 3. And it's going to be on the cutters to kind of dictate who gets the cut. In this play, they do it from the wing who already has steps and motion, and you'll see how he fills into the space. You'll notice how he adjusts his timing as well. He waits a bit, and then he chooses to attack the space. From there, you can also notice how, as this throw goes up, this wing is clearing this way, once again, to clear the space, and so he can attack. So it's all about clearing that space from where the momentum is taking, where the momentum of the disc is taking you. It's going this way, it's going to hit the midline, therefore this is now our strong space. We get it. It's going this way. We want this to continue the momentum there, so we're going to get out of that space.